the book of Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter and the 7th verse. And it reads, "And the Lord Yahweh, thy God, will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord Yahweh, and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day." Shalom. I would like to begin the lesson off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning, the Akwath. To you also, I say Shalom. It is your brother, Tazaka Bar, back with another lesson through the Spirit. And in today's lesson, I will be talking about the events that occurred earlier today in Minneapolis. So I'm going to pull out a few videos, a few clips that I have concerning that, as well as Salakia, as well as other facts and things of that nature that I have on the topic. So without further ado, I'm not going to waste any time, man. Just want to say I had no idea what was going on. I had woken up around noon today. I was restless last night. I stayed up all night, damn near, and couldn't really get much sleep. Ended up falling asleep and then waking up around noon. Checked in for work, and then my pops got on the phone with him. I want to say I was talking to him about something. I can't remember. It wasn't about this, but that was when he told me what had happened. And he had sent it to me on Instagram. And all I could do was laugh. All I could do is laugh. That's all I could do, man. Is laugh. As it says, "At death and destruction thou shalt laugh." And it's funny to us, man, because we've been telling you all that these things were going to start coming over here to America, right? We've been telling you all that the curses are starting to fall upon Esau, Edom. For us to have been seeing, you know what I'm saying, growing up, right? Because you got to realize, I might have been like, I might have been like 10 years old. I was even younger than that when Trayvon Martin got deleted. I was probably around like 10 years old when Mike Brown got deleted. I even met his dad before, right? Because, you know, I'm from St. Louis, but might have been 10 years old when Mike Brown got deleted. He was 18 at the time. Got shot in the middle of the street, broad day, over some damn weed, over a pack of weed, or not some weed, Salaki, over a pack of Rellos in my home city, right? And seeing uproars and stuff like that from people in my city, quite literally going to the Quick Trip gas station a week before they burned it down, going to the Family Dollar a week before they burned it down that summer. So Jake have been suffering from the curses that are in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, for generations now, right? So now that we're seeing those same curses fall upon our enemies, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, it's funny to me, because when it was going on in our community and when it was happening to our people, you have Edomites who were doing the same thing I'm doing, laughing, mocking us, things of that nature, right? not giving a fuck. So why should I care? Right? All of this is happening and is bringing the downfall of Esau Edom's kingdom. That's all this is doing. So you had, so like, let me get this. Oh, I didn't put it in my receipts folder. Salaki. Thought I put it in my receipts folder. Let's see. You have an Edomite man who got gunned down in broad daylight in the same month that an Edomite woman was gunned down in broad daylight in the same city. It says Alex Jeffrey Preddy, a nurse, was legally filming ICE when he objected to them shoving a woman. They rushed him, beat him, and deleted him. They then used the fact that he had been legally carrying a holster weapon, which he had a pistol on him, which if you all don't know, Minnesota is a open carry state. So what he was doing wasn't illegal. That they took from him before popping him as the reason they popped him, claiming he had approached him with a weapon. Now, if you all know anything, I'm gonna go ahead and just play this real quick, man. This is the video that I seen that my dad sent me. So I found out about this about an hour later, hour after it happened or so.
He's doing too much, man, and they keep pushing people, you know?
Look at them. They got 6 niggas on this dude. 4, 5, 6 niggas on him. Look at him pistol whipping him in the head.
Oh, what the They killed him? Did they kill that guy? Are you kidding me, dude? Not again. Are you kidding me? That guy's dead.
Yep,
I just saw
popped him about 6, 7 times.
Video of more than 6 masked agents pummeling one of our constituents and shooting him to death.
Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get this, man, because you got people like, I'm gonna let y'all listen to the rest of this video because it's 9 minutes long and I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I will get this, man. This is only 1:43 to 9.
This is the Mercy Capital Court, powered by artificial intelligence.
I didn't hurt her.
Minneapolis is...
Yeah, people trying to lie and say that he was doing this. He was a T-word, all of this other stuff. Not wanting to take accountability. I keep bringing this up, man. These Edomites, their kingdom is crumbling, dude. Their wisdom is perishing. The book of Psalm 55 and 9 in the NLT, it says, "Consume them, Lord, and frustrate their plans. For I see violence and conflict in the city. Its walls are patrolled day and night against invaders." But guess what? But the real danger is wickedness within the city. Everything is falling apart. Threats and cheating are rampant in the streets. So, they say Israel's a threat. They say Salakia. They say Iran's a threat. They say all of these other countries are a threat, right? when the real threat isn't within the city gates, man. The damn government. And like we've been saying, these people don't give a crap about you. But hey, it's gonna take these people so long until they start listening to the words of the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah, Lord willing, the 144,000.
Is once again on edge today after federal agents fatally shot another person. John Lawrence reports this is the second deadly ICE shooting this month, and it has state and local officials calling for a change.
Federal agents killed another person in Minneapolis Saturday morning, and anger is again rising over the agent's presence in the state.
I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand what's happening here.
The man was surrounded by federal agents when they shot him.
Life-saving aid was being rendered, and he was transported by ambulance to Hennepin County Medical Center, where he was later pronounced deceased.
Yeah, Edomites who didn't even care about that lady who just got popped. Edomite men, too. I actually was watching the video online from when I was on Twitter last night scrolling of a guy breaking it down as to why that lady who had got popped was stupid. And this is all based on political turmoil, man. We keep saying these same things. This is the things that we've been repeating ourselves on for the longest now. Sedition among men, revolting. That's all this is gonna lead to very soon. 2 Ezra 15:14 in the Good News translation. The world and the people in it are doomed. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. We're starting to see we're seeing that right now. U.S. and Iran are on the brink of war. And I went back through some of my old videos. I said that 8 months ago. I said that I said that in like March of last year. But it's a buildup. Things don't just happen in one night. But we are in the times now where we're seeing breaking news daily. We're not even into the first month of the new year, and we're already seeing people get deleted in the streets. And you think that DJ is gonna stop ICE, right? You got Minnesota governors, Minneapolis mayors, and stuff like that calling for ICE to stop, for Donald Trump to call it off. He's not calling that off. No. We're going to go into order of chaos tonight, and we're going to go into martial law. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Nations will arm themselves and fight against other nations. There will be great political turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring the legitimate government. There will no longer be free access to the cities. That's what we're leading to right now. No longer free access to the cities. And whether that be through martial law, whether it be through not being able to travel, so on and so forth. It says, because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion wherever people live.
The Department of Homeland Security says the 37-year-old had a 9mm semi-automatic handgun with 2 magazines. It's unclear whether he was holding the gun when he was shot.
But it's the thing, though. It doesn't matter if he had a gun on him. That's not illegal, according to the Constitution. What they also don't realize is that the Constitution have been null and void for a while now. And the Elder Malcolm has done plenty of lessons on that. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I remember him talking about it in 2024. It was something concerning not national, but international law that made the U.S. that overruled the U.S. Constitution, pretty much made it null and void. It said, it might have been, I want to say it was around October 2024, around that time period, around the fall. It says at 9:05 a.m., DHS law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted operation in Minneapolis against an illegal alien wanted for violent assault. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-auto handgun, saying, "Here, it's a SIG, like a 365, 365X." Anyways, the officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. So here's my thing, right? If a suspect violently resisted, y'all say y'all took the weapon off of him as you have 5 people wrestling him to the ground. What was the point in unloading 6+ shots into the dude and he landed on the ground? you already was pistol whipping him, bruh. What's the point in deleting him? But hey, at the end of the day, this is the Lord's doing in his judgment. Matter of fact, let's get that, man. Amos 3:6. It says, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city and the Lord Yahweh hath not done it?" This is all the Lord's doing, man. This is prophecy. And nothing's going to stop prophecy. The Lord is sending the arrows, and who is he that will turn them back? Surely the Lord, the Most High Power, will do nothing, but he reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Let's get in NLT. When the ram's horn blows a warning, shouldn't the people be alarmed? Does disaster come to a city unless the Lord Yahweh has planned it? Indeed, the sovereign Lord Yahweh never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets. The Lord is putting the words in our mouth to speak this prophecy. We're not doing this on our own. We wouldn't be able to do none of the stuff we do if it wasn't for the Lord Yahweh shot. The officers attempted to disarm the suspect, but the armed suspect violently resisted. More details on the armed struggle are forthcoming. See how they trying to twist the story? But like my pop said in our lesson we did yesterday, we're gonna see 48 hours. This shit gonna get exposed. Well, more and more information get out on it. They're already trying to twist the story. It's too many angles from the videos we just seen. It says, fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics on scene immediately delivered medical aid to the subject, but was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines and no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. How is he gonna do that when he only had a pistol on him? And he's outnumbered. Number one, first and foremost, he's outnumbered. That look like a 15 to 17 round clip, right? When you have 5 to 6 plus ICE officers with bulletproof vests on, he wasn't trying to do no real damage. He most likely was minding his own business and had his pistol on him because it's not illegal. But hey, man, like it says, they be born speaking lies, man. You gotta take the things that the government say, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. Just know, they always trying to throw the people off. Psalm 58:1, it says, "Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yeah, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth." It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." Mouths of deceit, man. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. It says, about 200 riders arrived at the scene and began to obstruct and assault law enforcement. Okay.
The agents attempted to disarm the individual, but he violently resisted. Fearing for his life and the lives and safety of fellow officers, a Border Patrol agent fired defensive shots.
In separate posts on social media.
This is concerning Israel. Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Senior White House aide Stephen Miller referred to the person shot as, quote, a would-be assassin and a domestic terrorist.
Stephen Miller is a damn, you know what, I'm not even going to say nothing. Just know, he's going to be in chains continual employment. He's a demon. I don't even want to say that. Anyway, he's a devil. A devil. A would-be assassin tried to delete federal law enforcement, and the official Democrat account sides with the terrorists. It's like I said that T word. A domestic T tried to assassinate federal law enforcement, and this is your response? You and the state's entire Democrat leadership team have been flaming the flames of insurrection for the singular proper purpose of stopping the deportation of illegals who invaded the country. They're not worried about deporting illegals. They're worried about getting Jacob out here. That's why we ain't. That's why we're in Jacob's trouble, Israel. This is all for the controversy of Zion. Because if they're trying to deport illegals, they would be rounding up so-called Asian. They'd be rounding up the so-called Elam. They'd be rounding up the so-called white people that come from other countries as well. So it's not about them. They be rounding up the so-called Africans as well. Nah, they worried about the 12 tribes, the Negroes, Latinos, and Native American people.
We are under attack by this administration right now, and this is not okay. It's just not.
Minneapolis's mayor condemned the incident and is calling on the Trump administration to end the ICE operation in the...
We are under attack by this administration
When the wicked are in rulership, the people mourn.
Right now, and this is not okay. It's just not.
Minneapolis's mayor condemned the incident.
Mayor Jacob Frey. Today we lost another Today we lost another Minneapolis neighbor after multiple ICE agents pummeled him and shot him to death. How many more people need to die or get shot before this ends? President Trump, I'm calling on you to put the American people in this American city first and get ICE out. That ain't gonna happen. Now, I have a cousin that lives in Minneapolis. I asked him if he was doing all right. He said pretty much that he was going through it and he tired of everything that's going on. Not concerning this, but just life in general. And I replied to him and said, life in captivity, man. He knows the truth. I told him about it. Did he take heed, though? Nope. Jake be going through hell, and they don't know why they going through hell.
Calling on the Trump administration to end the ICE operation in the city.
The invasion of these heavily armed masked agents roaming around on our streets of Minneapolis, emboldened with a sense of impunity, it has to end. This is not how it has to be.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Who's going to win the pro football?
Right, so let's go ahead and get this now. Isaiah the 19th chapter. Isaiah 19:1 in the King James Version, it says, the burden of Egypt, which in the scriptures America is referred to as spiritual Sodom and Egypt. America, Babylon the Great. Behold, how I rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come unto Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be removed at his presence, shall be moved at his presence. and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Now it set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, meaning Americans against Americans, and shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. It's straight division throughout Edomites as a whole around the world. Like it says, I'll get that in a second. And they shall fight everyone against his brother. Verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. Donald Trump's not worried about the shit that's going on in the homeland. He's worried about what's going on with other countries, as we said in our lesson yesterday. He never keepeth at home. You have people out here protesting in Los Angeles right now. I'm watching on Al Jazeera. Protests going on all over the country, right? They trying to incite civil unrest. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, right? And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of Yahweh of hosts, right? A tyrant, a cruel king, as we've been saying. So this isn't anything new, man. We've just been repeating our shit. Like I say, all we got to do is continue doing the work, and these prophecies going to come to pass. Just keep on saying. So then, they can't say we never said nothing. Because we've been sounding the trumpet. We've been sounding the horn. Ordo ab chaos is a Latin phrase meaning order out of chaos, or order from disorder. It is notably the motto of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, representing the philosophical, social, or spiritual process of bringing structure, clarity, and purpose to a chaotic or unrefined state. It signifies the ability to create stability and confusion. And what they want to do from that is bring forth their new goal, their new plan concerning this new society, this new digital society, this technocratic society they want to bring forth to implement the MOTB. And Lord willing, it happens this year, man. By the way things are going right now, it could happen. It really could happen, man. It says martial law is the temporary substitution of military authority for civilian rule during extreme emergencies like war, natural disasters, or severe civil unrest. Like I said, when declared by U.S. presidents or governors, it allows the military to enforce laws, impose curfews, and suspend civil liberties. Although intended to restore order, it can lead to the suspension of normal legal processes and habeas corpus, with the last major U.S. instance occurring in Hawaii during World War II. So, if you don't know, now you know. This clip is from a few days ago. It's from before all of this happened today, though.
Agents are being instructed by a new policy to force their way into American homes even without a judicial warrant. The next stage may have begun. This is going to be a slightly longer video, but I need you to listen to me. This is the document I'm talking about. It says that an internal memo from May 2025 from DHS and ICE authorizes ICE agents to enter American homes without consent, exigent circumstances, or a judicial warrant, which is the basic standard for the Fourth Amendment. The memo authorizes agents to use whatever force is necessary to enter a home with just an administrative warrant. The memo contains only two limits to these sweeping new powers, and those are the entering of third-party homes, which cannot be accessed using force, and the need for an I-205, which is an administrative warrant that contains a final order of removal. What does that mean? That if the content of the memo is confirmed, the government would be now openly violating the Fourth Amendment rights by allowing federal agents to force their way into a home based on an order issued by the same agency that employs those federal agents. And I'm preparing a Substack deep dive that explains more in detail the content of the memo, the constitutional implications, and how this policy ignores almost 100 years of Supreme Court decisions. But I want to point out two things that I think are very important in this video. Number one, this memo was addressed to all ICE personnel, but for some reason was not distributed and was only briefly shown to individuals who then trained their agency on this policy. Why is that? Well, in my opinion, because no documentation means plausible deniability and avoids something that can become a discoverable record in any future litigation. The federal government knew that this memo was a constitutional liability, in my opinion, but wanted to apply it first and minimize the fallout later. Number two, this policy is being deployed in the Fifth Circuit only, and this to me is very, very important because this is the court system that includes Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi, and it's a federal court system that is notoriously tolerant of heavy-handed law enforcement tactics. I suspect the plan here is for the government to try to get...
It's like Israel. I just seen on the thing it said Donald Trump is accusing Minnesota mayor and Minnesota governor and Minneapolis mayor of inciting the Insurrection Act. Look.
Couple of favorable decisions as people take the federal government to court after their front door gets broken down, and that will create a split jurisprudence in the country that can be used by the conservative bench of the Supreme Court as sort of a foothold to justify a carve-out to the Fourth Amendment protections. And there are a lot more details to cover in this very troubling memo, and I'll break it down into my Substack and probably also do a few more videos, but for now, I hope this will give you an insight into a federal government that is forcing its way into our constitutional protections and literally into our homes now.
Esau Edom is complete division, and they have but a short time, man. That's why they coming down so hard. I'm gonna get this and close it off. Matthew the 10th chapter and Matthew the 5th chapter and the 12th verse. Matthew the 6th chapter and the Matthew the 12th chapter and the 25th verse, it says, And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Our Lord and Savior Yahushua, Mashiach, is about to bring this. He's about to put the icing on the cake for the destruction and the demise of this kingdom. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Division within the city, man. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then this kingdom stand? Lord willing, the lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. I'm going to close it off there. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahaha Kodesh. Double blessing and honor to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who taught me this truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, I say Shalom, Israel. Shalom. And as always, we're one day closer to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel.